Hello everyone, and welcome to a photo review session. Have you wondered how you can improve your wildlife photographs, or how you could have taken or edited the photo differently to get a better outcome? I'll be reviewing 5 images taken by some of our followers, and I'll be analyzing each image in terms of various factors such as technical details, composition, storytelling, and editing, just to name a few. I'll be telling you what I love most about each image and what changes could be made to further improve the image. By the end of the video, you will have many ideas on how to improve your own wildlife photography. I'm Danielle and I'm a professional wildlife photographer with Pangolin Photo Safaris based in northern Botswana's Chobe region, where I teach photography to wildlife enthusiasts from all over the world and help them create, analyze and edit the photographs that they took while on safari with us. Please join our growing wildlife photography community by subscribing to our channel. Before I start, remember that photography is art and art is subjective. Everyone sees an image differently, and you're welcome to leave a comment below and tell me what you would have changed or which image is your favorite one and why. Let's start with this well-captured image of a leaping African wild dog. Impeccable timing and special behavior captured here. The water trailing behind the front paws is well defined by a shutter speed of 1/2000. Placement in the frame works perfectly, with the wild dog leaping from left to right into the negative space on the right. I found the muddy line in the background slightly distracting, especially as it's cutting through the wild dog. When I looked at the aperture, I noticed the photo was taken at f10. A lower aperture of 5.6 or 6.3 or lower, if the lens can, would have helped a great deal in blurring the background and making the line a little bit less distracting. I also noticed the bits of mud peeking out on the bottom left of the frame, and this is easy to get rid of with the least amount of cropping. Soft golden light excites us as photographers. However, often the golden light results in an overly warm or orange color cast, and it's sometimes necessary to cool down the color temperature or white balance slightly, which I probably would have done in this case. It's a fabulous image with a well-defined subject shown in action. Here is a beautiful image of 2 malachite kingfishers, the one about to feed a fish to the other. The fact that behavior is captured adds the story element to the image already, which is superb. The chosen shutter speed of 1/4000 is perfect for freezing the movement of these tiny fast-moving birds. The birds are well exposed against the bright sky due to overexposure of +2. What I would have liked better is to have given the birds more breathing space around them. The tail of the one and the head of the other come very close to the frame, to the edge, making it look as though the photographer almost missed capturing them in the frame. The other reason I wouldn't crop as tightly as this is that I'm able to see pixelation from too much cropping, which makes an originally sharp image look slightly soft with loss of detail in the intricate feathers. I find that overcropping is one of the most common tendencies, and though it's often the case with birds that you can't get as close as you want to the bird, I suggest leaving a little bit more space in the frame, and who knows, maybe you end up with a superb habitat image depicting the subject in its environment. Now this is a powerful image. Technically, it cannot be faulted on technical terms. However, the power of this image lies in the story that it tells. The image shows an African penguin, an endangered species desperately in need of protection, all by its lonesome where it should be part of a colony. The depiction of a waning species is strong. Using a wide-angle lens is fitting because it makes the penguin look small and vulnerable, and its juxtaposition against large, powerful rocks and an ominous sky adds to this message. The drama is intense. Usually we prefer a subject to be facing into the frame most of the time, but this penguin is facing outwards, which to me symbolizes that it is leaving. The conversion to monochrome simplifies the image even further and emphasizes the texture in the rocks and the clouds. It's a well thought out image and the message is clear. The effect of panning is used to depict movement in a still photograph, and it takes skill to get it right. The idea is to have a streaky background with at least one part of the animal in focus. The photographer succeeded at panning this blue wildebeest. Separation between the subject and background is one of the key components of a good image. In this case, the wildebeest is well separated from the background, and this is attributed to the fact that a slow shutter speed of 1/20th of a second was used to get the streaks instead of freezing the background, as well as placing a darker subject on a neutral background. Seeing that the wildebeest is running to the left, it would be suitable to have a little bit more space on the left-hand side of the image. It was taken at maximum focal length, so the photographer could either have zoomed back a bit, having used a zoom lens, or cropped less afterwards if possible. If I'm to be perfectionistic, I would have liked the eye to be slightly sharper. It seems as though the focus point fell on the cheek and not on the eye, but I do realize how difficult this can be. I also noticed the strong shadow of the horn falling on the face, and although this is because of the sun being quite high and the light harsh already, I would probably lighten that shadow a tiny little bit in Lightroom afterwards, just to take the edge off a bit. A beautiful fluid image and great panning. Last but not least, this image here. This one might stir up some debate. I like it because it made me look twice. My brain instinctively saw a tree and started looking for something small on the bark. And then my brain registered that there's different textures. Wow. What a unique image of a leopard. The agility of this cat is apparent in the way that it descends vertically, one paw in front to steady the descent. The Y shape of the tree trunk forms leading lines, converging to lead your eye to the leopard. As one already has to differentiate between the leopard and the tree because of the close textures, I would have liked the surrounding foliage not to compete with the other two elements. It would make the subject slightly more obvious if the leaves don't compete with the leopard, and for that reason I would consider darkening everything other than the tree and the leopard. As for placement, it's a tricky one. I would say this image lends itself to middle placement as a result of the symmetry. However, because the leopard is slightly off-centered to the right on the tree, if you are to place the leopard in the middle of the frame, the tree will be off-center and vice versa. It's a tricky one. I prefer not to wonder whether a subject is in the middle if it was meant to be in the middle. By slightly cropping it, I would let the tree touch the top right and left corners, which would help with the symmetry. The ISO is indeed high, 8000, but by looking at the settings, the photographer maxed out all possible settings to get in more light while still keeping the leopard sharp with a fast shutter speed. The noise seems to be hidden in the shadows and the textures, so I'm not too worried about that. It's a fabulous image of a leopard indeed. And those were some fantastic images, and I enjoyed delving deeper into each one of them. I hope it gave you some new ideas on what to look for in your own photographs, and that you are inspired to create some beautiful images of your own. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.